If you're applying for a partner visa for Australia, keep listening. Here's why you need to make the decision maker's job easy. My name is Joanna. I'm a registered migration agent, and I'm here to help you and your partner live your secure and happy future together in Australia. Whether you're applying yourself or looking to reduce stress and time and engage our expert services to assist with your application, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for updates. It might sound like different advice to what you've heard before, but stick with me and I'll explain. You see, Home Affairs decision makers spend their days reading applications day in, day out, week out, relationship statements, financial evidence, etc., 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 crossing T's, dotting I's, ticking boxes, making sure your relationship is genuine, and making sure that your application meets the legislative requirements for the grant of your visa. Every relationship is different, but by nature of the process, the applications would start to look kind of the same. It's really impersonal and somewhat repetitive, and if you submit an application that's kind of the digital equivalent of homework that looks like it's been dropped in the mud and scrunched up for a week in the bottom of the school bag, then you're making the decision maker's job harder than it needs to be in a way that doesn't benefit you and your goals. Partner visas are expensive. You don't want to run that risk. You don't know where your application will be decided or when or by whom. You can't control that. You can control what you put into your application and how you organise it. And it's in your best interests to do this in a way that makes the decision maker's job as easy as possible. Believe me, they want to give you your visa. They're just doing their job to make sure you meet the requirements. We all want a rigorous and fair Australian partner visa application system, so we don't begrudge the fact that they're doing their job, but also it doesn't hurt to do a few simple things to make their job easier. Because imagine this. The decision maker has a couple of hours left of work on a Friday afternoon and they open your application. They know that if everything's in order, they'll be able to grant it. So you want to make it as easy as possible for them to do that. You'd rather be celebrating with champagne on Friday night than receiving a request for more information on Monday morning. There's nothing better than calling a client on a Friday and telling them that their visa has been granted. It's such a good way to start a weekend. So, help them, help you. Here are some simple ways to do that. First, as far as possible, make sure you submit a decision-ready application. If you lodge your application minus key documents, it will slow the decision maker down because they'll need to send you a request for more information. It must feel good for a decision maker when they're able to open an application and decide it on the spot. Aim to submit an application that allows them to do that. It also feels good for the visa applicant when the first thing they hear from Home Affairs is the news that their visa has been granted. It's completely achievable and it happens to our clients all the time. Make their job easy. Second, label the documents you upload in a way that makes sense so they have an idea of what they're about to look at. Don't just have random selections of letters or words that don't make sense or don't actually give an idea of what the document is. Label your documents in a way that makes sense. Make their job easy. Third, also label your photos. I have a separate video that's all about photos and photo evidence. Label the photos you include so the decision maker can easily tell when and where they were taken, who's in them, and what's happening. It might be obvious to you, and they're pretty smart, so they can probably take a guess, but the guessing is a waste of their precious time. Make their job easy. Fourth, get your documents translated by a NADI translator. If you're uploading it and it's not in English, get it translated. Upload the original and the translation. Make their job easy. Now, if you prefer to write in your main language instead of English, you can write your relationship statements in your main language and get them translated by a NADI translator. That's not a problem. I also have a separate video about relationship statements where I talk more about this, and you can download our relationship statement guide with samples, templates, and checklists. Fifth, proofread your writing. I know I sound like a teacher right now. Old habits die hard, but no matter what language you're writing in, check your writing. Your actual application needs to be completed in English. Get help with it if you don't feel confident of reading and responding in English in the application. Aim to minimize the typos and the writing errors just so it's easy for them to understand the meaning of your words. Make their job easy. This sort of thing takes a little bit of extra time as you prepare your application, but it's time that's so worth spending. We help our clients with this when they work with us to prepare and lodge their application. It's just part of what we do. So to recap, make the decision maker's job as easy as you can. Label your documents, get them translated, proofread your application, proofread your written statements, label any information which might be obvious to a person who isn't you, like the photos. And if you're stressed and overwhelmed, like a client who called me today, don't sit there worrying. Reach out, schedule a free call. Please remember this is general information only. And of course, for individual advice that relates to your unique circumstances, please use the link in the bio to schedule a call. All the best for your application for a partner visa for Australia.